Good morning friends, I am Samir Ranjan Sahu and welcome to my channel Research Techniques, where all the whats and hows of research will be answered. So today we'll see something. Actually many times I have heard that people often say, or research students often say that why they are not being selected over some other fellow, while they have much better you can say even knowledge, or you can say profile. So what stands between you and them is their approach. Okay, before going into any, or before applying into any institute, what some friends do or some people do is that they contact their choice of supervisors, their choice of faculties beforehand. Okay, this might not always work, but it does give you some bit of advantage. Okay, because if the person sitting in the interview panel already knows you, then I don't think that it needs to be explained, because if the person who knows you beforehand, so he will have some bit of a soft corner for you. Okay, so let's see how to approach a faculty or a professor for either a PhD or any kind of research supervision. Okay, so before approaching them, you must know what is your research field, your research interest, because if you don't know, what will you go and say to them? Okay, so it is always beneficial to have your research field specified. Okay, not very wide, okay, or neither very narrow. You have to keep your research field in such a way that you can go either way. Suppose I can say from mechanical only. Okay, since I am from mechanical background, I can give you examples. I can say I'm a thermofluid engineer, but thermofluid is a very vast research area. So I will go somewhat specific. What I can say is I am interested in multi-phase flow. Okay, this is somewhat narrower, but not too specific. I like multi-phase flows. Okay, if I can go somewhat even you can say specific, I can go as I am interested in numerical multi-phase flow. That exactly gives me that I am not interested in experiments, but only simulation work related to multi-phase flow. So it is very much important to know what is your research field. Okay, so going on to the next step. Okay, that was step 1, that you have to know your research field. Okay, now step 2, prepare a report mentioning what kind of research you want to do. Okay, be as specific as possible, but not very specific. The reason is, see, you don't know what kind of professor or what kind of person is there. Okay, so there might be a chance that your ideas can be used without you being even you not even knowing. Okay, so even in that case you cannot do, because you cannot do anything. Okay, so it's better to be specific but not too specific. Okay, for example, as I can say, for again multi-phase flow, you have seen pipelines. Okay, transporting either that crude oil. Okay, so what you can do, you can somewhat specify your research, like I want to optimize the flow. Okay, because normally what happens in pipelines is that with that crude oil there are also packets of air, okay, which flow through the pipe. That somewhat you can say obstructs the flow. Okay, obstruct the flow. So what I can say is, in my report I can say that I want to remove that obstruction. How? That will be with me. Okay, but I want to remove that obstruction and optimize the flow in such a way that whatever the power consumption is being whatever the power is being consumed in transporting the crude oil from one point to another, it can be reduced. Okay, we even minimizing the losses also. So these are few examples. Okay, if you have multiple research interest, it is always beneficial to have 2 to 3 reports like that. Okay, I am sorry, but there is no shortcut for that. You have to keep those reports in your hand. And if you are a beginner, okay, don't go on having 8 to 10 research fields. It will not help you. Have at least 1 or 2 research fields, research interest in the beginning. After you complete your research, when you get a job, or when you get a job as a scientist or a researcher or as a faculty somewhere else, at that moment you can begin expanding your research fields. Okay, so now going on to step 3. Now step 3 is also important, because you don't want to you don't want to go to any institute. Okay, if you have a specific set of institutes, whether MIT, IIT, Caltech, whatever is your interest lies, okay, prepare a list of those institutes or organizations. There are many research organizations also, like in India I can say it is ISRO, BARC, DRDO. Those are all research organizations. And institutes like IITs, NITs, they already have PhD students conducting many kind of either numerical or experimental works. Okay, so you have to prepare the list. Okay, now after preparing that list, okay, now step 4 is that you go to each of their website. Okay, prepare a list of the scientists or professors with their emails who are relevant to your field. Suppose when I am saying multi-phase flow, if a faculty or a professor or a scientist is from different field, contacting him or preparing a list with his name on it will give me no benefit. Okay, it will be unnecessary, a loss of time also. So prepare a list with scientists or professors of your relevant field with their emails. Okay, now prepare a very short email, because most of them won't have enough time, okay, to read very lengthy emails. Okay, keep it short, keep it simple, and don't tag everyone in one email. Okay, like suppose you are trying to send mail to a faculty, to a professor in IIT, suppose Delhi, IIT Bombay, and IIT Madras. Okay, you have got 3 faculties in your list. So when you are sending a mail in the to section, don't put all those 3 email IDs at once there. Send separate email IDs. Okay, the reason is, one way or another they will know. So even if there is no ego clash, there will be some doubt in their mind that whether this fellow is really interested in me or not, because I can see in the mail that he has sent the same mail to some other person also. So whether he is really interested in working under me or not, so that doubt might get you rejected. Okay, so separate emails to every faculty, and when you write that email, keep 1-2 lines about how you admire or how you have followed their work. Okay, but remember, no buttering. No one have enough time to get in the email no, there should be no buttering actually. Okay, just so you can simply write that I have been following your work, and that is quite really interesting work that I have found that you are doing. Keep it short, keep it simple. I will show you an example. Okay, then you wait for the response, and according to the response we will proceed. Suppose initially you just send them the mail, no need to attach that report or anything. If they reply saying that what is your research interest, what is your research field, kindly give me a report, or what do you want to do, kindly give me a report, at that moment you should send them that report. Okay, and always keep your CV handy. You never know what you might get asked for. They might also ask for your CV as well as the report. Okay, that completely depends on the professor you are talking to. Okay, now let's see an example. See, dear professor, his name, I, your name, completed my, now whatever the latest degree you have completed. Okay, from your institute or organization's name. Okay, now next line is my research areas or my research interest lies with, you give your 1 or 2 examples. Okay, I visited your profile and came to know that you are currently working on the same field. It will be a huge opportunity if I can get the chance to work under your supervision. See, no buttering, I have kept it short, I have kept it simple. Okay, if the faculty or the professor is interested, okay, they will reply. Okay, and if you are not getting any response, never send another mail. Okay, because if the thing is, if they are not able to reply, that completely tells you that they didn't have enough time to read their mail. Okay, so if you keep on continuing sending the mail to them, it will be nothing but type of, and you will be annoying them, and you don't want that. Okay, so in the previous step, okay, where I told you to separate, prepare a list, okay, and report. Okay, so when I told you to prepare a report, I think it is here, prepare a report. Okay, there is one thing that you might you should consider. Okay, let's directly see an example on how you can prepare the report also. Okay, let's see. Suppose I am going to IIT Delhi. Okay, now let's see where the faculties. For faculty, faculty housing admissions, wait a second, just let me, departments. So let's go to what I can say, where is mechanical. Let's go to civil only. Okay, faculty, what is this? This is something I have never seen. Let's try again. Okay, sorry, I got it here. Now see here, research interest of Professor Ramana. One more thing, why I have written here professor. Okay, see, when you writing an email, okay, this professor does not stand for their position. Okay, this is out of respect that you are telling him. Okay, no doctor, no sir, nothing. Dear professor, even if he or she is an assistant professor or an associate professor, always write dear professor exactly the name, no Mr., no Mrs. Okay, just like dear Professor Ramanna, dear Professor Alapat, nothing else. Okay, now if you see, let's see here, environmental engineering, solid waste management, incineration. Okay, so suppose your interest lies with incineration and fluidized bed operations. You wrote a mail to Professor Alapat saying that I am interested in your work and I want to work in the field, but he rejected you. Okay, why? The reason is, even if he is working, his research interest lies in that field, but is he currently working in that field? That is even more important. Whichever faculty or professor you are approaching, always see whether or not that particular professor is currently working on that particular field. If your interest lies with solid waste management, okay, only solid waste management, okay, but Professor Alapat is not currently working on solid waste management, he is working on environmental engineering, so he will not select you. Okay, so always see, if possible, okay, see their latest publications. Okay, see their latest publications, see some publications for Professor Gurmail, brief CV. Okay, you can see here, in this CV he might have updated, if not we cannot do anything. You can browse through, you got the idea, I think. Okay, whenever you write a mail to any professor or any scientist, always check beforehand whether or not whatever is your research interest, is it matching with that particular professor or not, and if it is matching, whether or not that particular professor is working currently on that field. Okay, you browse through the websites, their portfolio, their pages, their research interest, and you will get the idea, okay, on what type of field they are currently working on. Okay, so that's all for today. If you like the video, do like, share and subscribe, and press the bell icon for more interesting what's and hows of research. And yeah, we will see you in the next video, where I will be talking about PhD interviews, even if not PhD interviews, simple facing research interviews, how you can prepare, what might they ask. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.